Hello, everyone. Welcome to Financeology 101. Class is now in session. The information provided during this podcast is just that information. You will need to do further research to address your specific situation. Enjoy the session. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another session of Gifted Generations Presents Financeology 101. I'm one of your hosts, Robin Seegers, and the other host is.
Elroy Sears.
Okay, so this session, we want to talk. Well, let's rewind that. Happy New Year's! If this is our first time, your first time listening to us for 2024, Happy New Year's. This session is about your credit score, and the title is "Have you wrecked your credit score?" So we're going to talk about ways to help you fix your credit score moving forward, because I don't think people realize the importance of your credit score. It's very important. So, Elroy, do you want to give some ways you can wreck your credit score?
Yes, the number one way to wreck your credit score is not paying your bills at all. You go out and buy something and you figure out I'm gonna pay it late, 30 days late, 60 days late, 90 days late. But a lot of people don't know is that there's an increment of late payments. So if you're 30 days late, that's a notch. 60 days late, that's another notch against you. Then 90 days, 120 late. So it does it in increments. And then of course, just paying things late consistently. That can hurt your credit score. Hurt your credit score. Another. I mean that is the biggest one. It's just not paying your bills as you say you was when you first initiated that purchase that you wanted to get so bad. It's like, yeah,
Right,
I can afford it, but then you don't come through with the payments because something may happen.
right.
You may have an incident, you may have an emergency, and that's another big old issue as far as don't go too far over your head if you can't afford to pay for it down the line or you don't have emergency funds. That's
Right.
another topic for another day. But basically, just not paying your bills on time and just overextending yourself.
Extended. Right, right. Now I'm gonna give out the numbers from what they consider poor and what poor credit score and what they consider exceptional. Now
Mm.
your numbers are 300 to 579. That's a
Ooh,
poor credit score.
po.
Poor.
Yep. Po.
If your number is 580 to 669, that's fair.
Bam.
670 to 739, that's good.
Good.
740 to 799 is very good. And 800 to 850 is exceptional. So let's tell them why they want to have good credit. What does good credit get you?
Allows you to have a lower interest rate when you want to buy a car, buy a house. So the higher that credit score is, the lower your interest rate going to be on any purchase. Now, I would say these numbers that Robin gave you, you will find on a website, on the internet, some of those are going to vary.
Right.
As far as some say like for what says good 670 to 739, some may say 690 to 755. So they vary. So a lot of those in the right ballpark. But the better your credit score is, the lower your interest rate that you can get when you buy something on a loan card, loan on a house. So it helps you to have a lower payment. The higher interest rate, the higher payment. The lower your score, higher interest rate, higher payment. The higher your score, lower interest rate, lower payment.
There you go. Now, the first thing is for you to check to see what your score is.
Yep.
That all these services, Experian, Equifax,
TransUnion.
who are TransUnion, you can look up your credit score for free.
Yep.
So go out there, research on how you can look up your credit score using one of those, and find out what your credit score is. That way you know what you need to fix. Okay, and go through it and see which ones that show that you're paying on time.
Mm-hmm.
Like Elroy said, do auto pay.
Mhm. Yep.
to make sure
That's
you're paying on time,
yep. That's a
right?
definitely yeah. That's a big plus. Auto pay helps you to not to think about it, but also on auto pay you got to make sure the money is there. So,
Right.
which can cause other problems, deficient funds. So you want to do auto pay because it's easy to monitor and then track and make sure things are done on time. So that is
Do
that
you?
is a great way.
Yeah, and do you know you can call these people and ask them to possibly move your due
I did,
date to,
I did,
yeah, so
I
you can
did.
do that.
Yep,
You
I did.
they rather work with you than not get the money.
Yep, I did
So
when
call them.
yeah, when we was younger and trying to pay off 20,000 credit cards, bills, and stuff like that. I would just call them. But they gonna say you gotta get paid up to date for this month, and then that move for next month. So you can't say, "Hey, the bill is due like the 15th. Hey, can you move my bill to the first?" They're like, "Yeah, after you pay the 15th bill." So you're gonna have a
Right,
bill on the 15th and then another bill on the first if you just decide to do it that way, or vice versa. But I say do that because it's consistently the same every single month versus having to bill on the first, bill on the fifth, bill on the 10th, bill on the 12th, bill on the
mm-hmm,
17th, bill on the 19th, bill on the 20th. It's like throughout the whole course of the month, So I would try to hit a window. If I can get a bill between like the 5th and the 10th, that's one window, and then maybe the 15th, and then the 20th, and then maybe so then like the 25th and 30th. So I have three windows I try to change my bills to, because a lot of times some bills you can't change, like
mm-hmm.
um, like your rent for your apartment. It's always what due by the 5th, right? That's something you ain't gonna be able to change. Yeah, most people do that. You can sometimes change your car bill depending on when you purchased it. You can have it slide forward or backwards, type stuff. So yes, I think that is something you can do, and definitely want to work with them so they can work with you. They
Right,
like Robin says, they are willing to. People think you know they don't, but they want their money. So why would they want to work with you? You
right,
know,
right,
you know.
right. And you can talk to them about maybe lowering your interest rate for a few months.
Yeah.
They might have a promotion going on where they'll lower it for 6 months.
Yeah, and
So
that only comes with someone saying, you ask them that, right? They're gonna go back and look at your history. Well, Mr. Siggins, we can't do that because you missed two payments in the last 12 months, or you was late three times in the last 12 months. That's gonna throw you out of the mix right there. But if you've been consistent for like 24 months, they can like say, well, you've been pretty good. Let me give you a 6 month, zero rate. Let me lower you for 6 months. But if you've been missing payments or you've been late, that's gonna tell them, nah, you can't be trusted. We're gonna keep it just the way it is.
right. So it's always a good thing to call, not be ducking these people, not answering the phone or whatever. I'm quite sure they're not supposed to be calling you anyway, but
Right.
just in case, getting late notices and all of that, talk to the people. A lot of
Yeah.
them will
Yep.
be willing to work with
Oh
you
yeah,
because they
most
rather
definitely.
have, they want the money,
Most
so they'll
definitely.
work with you.
Most
Okay, so
definitely.
another thing you should be able to do to fix your credit is to pay down your debt. Like if you using your credit card, pay it in full the end of each month.
Yeah.
So the you're not rolling over. Don't just keep paying $25, $25, and it's just gonna keep piling up and
Yep.
piling up
Yep.
and
Yep.
piling up because that $25 is not gonna take is not a huge chunk to take away how much you owe.
Yep. And the thing is, if your bill is so large you can't pay the whole thing off $20,000 in the month, you want to look at that minimum payment and start making it, and then paying something a little bit something extra
Right,
to,
extra,
to, to try to
right,
get try
right,
to get down because
right.
you're gonna pay the minimum payment for the rest of your life. So
Yes,
you
yes.
bought it, now pay for
And you
it.
know what? And the credit card company is okay with you paying the minimum
Oh
payment
heck yeah.
because that means you going that thing costs you $1,500, but
Yeah.
by the time you finish paying them, you can pay
Mm-hmm,
$3,000,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
$4,000. So they
mm-hmm,
okay with you paying that
mm-hmm.
minimum.
Yeah.
They are
Mm-hmm.
okay with it.
Yep.
But
Yep.
one thing you have to do is also if you get your bill, say a credit card, say your limit is 1,500 and you get it up to 1,000, stop using it until
Yep.
you pay it off.
Yep.
You
Yep.
have that discipline to stop using it until you
Yep.
pay it off.
Because your credit score goes lower over a certain percentage of
Hmm.
your loan, your ratio
How,
as far as what you have available.
right. Right. So if you have a $1,500 credit card and you've already used 1,000, that
Mm.
causes your
Credit
credit
score.
score to drop because
Yeah.
that means you're spending more than you paying.
Yeah. Now I understand sometimes that's something you got to do. My thing is that if you want to work on it, let it be get a year long plan to work on it.
Hmm.
But break it down in 3 month increments. Okay. By next year, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z with these things, and then you say, okay, now let me take those 12 months and break it down in smaller bites. All right. I see this car here is always late. I'm going to pay it on time. All right. The one I've been paying on time, I will continue to pay on time. So you won't have like to me, this is the way I do things. If I got a 12-month goal, that's great. That's the big picture. Here's my big picture. Now I gotta break that down in smaller chunks so I can chew it. You can't
Right.
just eat it all at one time. You got like they say, you eat an elephant one bite at a time. You attack your credit score one little piece at a time, one credit card, one instant at a time. You can't do everything at one time, and it may take a while to get your credit score because when your credit score go up, it ain't gonna go from 650 to 720. It's gonna go 650, 660, 665. It goes a little bit at a time. It ain't
Hmm.
it ain't
Hmm.
it ain't always big jumps. It's incremental jumps. But
Okay.
but
So,
but big drops. I can tell you that.
oh
But big
yeah.
drops.
Oh
Big
yeah.
drops.
Oh yeah. It always worked that way in the negative.
Yeah.
Another thing is avoid new hard inquiries, meaning when you keep going out and you apply for this credit card and you apply
Mm,
for this loan and you
mm,
private, they have to look up your credit score, your
yeah.
credit history. And
Yeah.
every time you do that, they like,
Yeah.
oh, they looking to spend money.
Yeah.
And that lowers your credit score.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
That's it.
they looking at you. You're looking to spend money. You're looking
Yeah.
to spend money. They got
Mm,
too many things going on. They looking to spend a lot of money. Your
yeah.
credit score goes down.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly right. No much more you
Just
can say
by
about that.
them, you haven't even gotten the loan. You haven't even gotten a new credit card. But just by them looking into it, and you got so many people looking into it because you're doing all this at one time, your credit score goes down.
I know it sounds crazy, right? You're trying to do better by trying to find different the best percentages on credit cards, stuff like that, and you out there saying, "Oh, this one's better," and every time you apply for something, it's like, "Wait a minute, my score was 700, now it's 650," because five people made inquiries on your card. It's it's
Yeah,
it's that simple. Like you work hard
yeah,
to get your score up, then boom, overnight, that's what happens to it. So
yeah,
you gotta be very strategic as far as how you do your business when it comes to what you're applying for certain things and how you address that credit score and how you're
yeah.
going to protect it for your future endeavors as far as things you want to do in your life because
Right.
it does impact you.
It does. And another way to fix your credit score is dispute dispute errors.
Hmm.
You can look on Elroy look on found some stuff and he disputed it and they had
Hmm.
to take it off.
Hmm. Yeah.
So if you have proof that you paid something or you have proof that you weren't late,
Right.
dispute it. File a claim to dispute it
Yeah.
and let them prove it.
And they have 30 days to respond to you. Now, I don't know how accurate this is. This is just me saying this here. I typically tell people, you want to dispute your claims around the holidays because they're so busy. I'm serious, bro. They get so many inquiries and so many things, and they're like, you know what? They'll do a purview of how your credit was, and you've been paying things on time. Just say, you know what? I'm gonna let it go. They don't respond in 30 days. You get the credit score back. You can get it back. But I always say because they're so busy, they don't, maybe not so much so busy now because COVID's passed, and maybe so because everyone's making inquiries. They don't really want to hurt their business by, helping you out because the lower the higher your score, the more people tend to spend. I'm like, oh, I got a
Right,
new credit score. So
right,
they
right.
sometimes they don't argue with it. If you sit in there and they don't dispute it, you get your points back automatically. And sometimes it's extra work on them, you just let it go. That's just my theory. It has not been proven. It's just something that I've always tell people to do. And somebody will say, that worked, man. You was right. They didn't even dispute it. So I'm always getting feedback when I tell somebody to do that. I said, wait till Thanksgiving, wait for Christmas, wait for New Year, wait for Super Bowl, stuff like that. And I said, do it right around those times and just hit them hard and then see what your response is. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But the feedback I've got is like, you were right. They didn't respond to it. So that's just my 2 cents of trying to take things out at an angle.
Hey, you got to play the game. You got to
Yeah,
know how to
yeah,
play the game,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you never know. if you don't go out there and ask and inquire about things. You
Yeah.
can't let them decide for you. You have to be in the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Elroy mentioned this earlier about past due amounts. If your past due 30 days is counted against you, and
Mm-hmm.
that stays on your report for 7 years.
Yep.
It
Yep.
stays on. If you're past 30 days on payments, 7 years, that shows on your credit score, on your
Yep.
credit report.
Yep.
And if you are less than, if you're late, but you're less than 30 days, pay it immediately.
Yep.
Pay it. You may be late, but you're not 30 days late. Go ahead and pay it immediately.
Yep. That's
And if
right.
you got things that's 30 days and or more, pay it off if you can.
Yep.
Sometimes that help your credit score,
You said it. You're right.
right?
Yeah. I mean, there's
And
nothing more. There's nothing more to say than what you just said. I mean, that's straight to the point.
and this is the one that gets me. Do not close unused credit cards or
Yeah.
credit accounts. Like you have a
Yeah.
card that you was like so proud that you paid it off. It has a
Mm-hmm.
zero balance, and
Mm-hmm.
then you close it because you thinking you doing good. If you close
Right.
it, you ain't spending on it. That's a huge dip in your credit
Yep.
score.
Do you know why though? Here's why.
Why? Because go ahead.
Well, go ahead. Tell me what you think it is.
I think because they saying that you're not. We no longer have a record of you spending. We don't have a history of you spending, and
That's
so they
part of it. That's part of it.
part of it.
So
Okay.
let's say I have 10 cards and they're all $10,000 a piece, right? I'm saying
Mhm.
five cards, they're all $10,000 a piece, and I have
Mhm.
zero on each card. So my ratio to spending ratio, my availability is $50,000 because I have five
Mhm.
cards, $10,000. I have $50,000. So if I go out and spend $10,000, I still have $40,000 to spend total on all those cards, right? So
Right.
now let's say I close two of those cards.
Mhm.
Now my spend ratio has went down to $30,000. So if I go out and spend $10,000, I have $30,000. I only have 20,000 left. So it's really about access to money that you have that you can
And how,
spend.
and then how well you manage that.
Right, right,
So the more money you have access to,
right,
and you doing well with managing that,
right,
then your credit score remains high.
right. When you close something like that lowers your basically, like, let me say, for lack of a better word, your loan ratio to yourself. You know,
Okay.
So
Okay.
you're saying I'm gonna close this $10,000 card down. I'm gonna close all my cards. Well, you went to zero. They're like, well, you ain't got no cards no more. So how can we rate you? What you gonna show us are trending habits? What you gonna show us spending habits? Revolving charges. You got a house, you got a student loan, you got a car. This is part of it too. It's all a total picture. So um, leave it open. You know?
Now, one thing I do want to say, and Elroy, you help me with this. There's some people, and we know some people that think it's better to have a zero credit score and just
Yeah,
pay for cash for everything. But
yeah,
that's not possible the way our society is set
yeah.
up. It's just not possible. Everybody has to have a credit score to function. Even if you have millions of dollars, you think millionaires use their personal money to finance their businesses? No, they go to the banks. Guess what the bank's looking at?
Mm,
How well you pay back money. What is your
yeah,
credit score? What is your credit rating? Even big banks big businesses have to have a credit score,
yeah.
some credit rating to get the money to run their business. They're not taking it from their personal money.
Yeah, I mean that comes from one of the classes that we took. They were saying, pay everything in cash, be debt free. I get where they're coming from when they're saying that, but I'm just saying for a lot of middle class people that score is important because you don't have the means. We may not have the means to pay cash for every single thing.
Right.
Like a flight, $10,000. Okay, you got $10,000. No, you can put on a credit card and pay it off over time. Personal line of credit, those kind of things. We have a personal line of credit, what I'm saying? And a personal line of credit basically means that anytime I need to get some money, I can go to my own account and just transfer over. It's not a credit card. It's my own personal line of credit. So if I need $2,000, I just transfer $2,000 over, spend it, and then I pay myself, I pay the line of credit back. It's my own line of credit that I can use to transfer money back and forth. So kind of like a business your own business transaction. So that is good to have too. It's not a credit card. It can be used like a credit card, but it's just money that you have access to. It can be cash.
Hmm.
You can pay off another bill, so it's actually cash money. If I go to the bank and says, "Give me $2,000 for line of credit," I have it. That's a rate for that too. You see what I'm saying? But that gives you
Hmm.
access to do those things. If you don't have that credit score, like, don't give you no line of credit. If you're gonna get one, it's gonna be 35%.
Right.
Interest. It's gonna be
Right.
that's a crazy number. I'm just throwing it out there for sake of argument. But you won't be able to do those things and have access to those things because your credit score is so high. You become a risk. No, really, I mean,
Right.
think about it, Rob. A credit score is really saying, how big of a risk am I going to take on you?
Right.
The higher the score, the lower the risk. I know you're going to come back for more business. The lower the score, the higher the risk. I'm going to charge you because you're a risk factor to me.
Right.
That's
Right.
that's all it is. What is your that credit score is what is your risk factor? That's what it is.
So our society operates and our financial system operates that way.
Mhm.
So for people to say I'm gonna just have zero credit and then you need to go out there and do something and they say we only accept a credit card,
Yeah,
then what?
yeah.
Because there's some things that they credit card.
And I
And it's like,
personally,
oh,
I would never use my debit card on stuff because once the money is stolen and taken, they're taking my money. If they use a credit card, they can take the bank's money, and I can say that y'all can dispute that. My money is still safe. Y'all can
right.
handle that.
And we know some people that want to we personally know people that want to have their goal is to have a zero credit score
Yeah,
and to pay cash for everything, meaning using their debit card online, ordering this, ordering that. And like Elroy said, and we tried to tell him, if they all these systems getting hacked, guess
yeah.
who that money they getting? Your personal money.
So there's one credit card out there that I really do like, and the way I got it set up. So if I want to go buy something, right, I can put the card and buy gas or buy food, and within the minute I charge it, it comes to my card. I can open up my app and say pay the card via my bank. So I'm paying for the card the exact same time I just purchased something. So if I go to Walmart and buy $80 worth of clothing, I'm putting on my card. I get to my card, boom, open the app up and says you just purchased something for $80 from Walmart. How you want to pay it off? I say pay it now. Comes to my bank account. Does two things. I'm paying like I'm using my debit card, but I'm also getting points on that credit card to go towards anything
Hmm.
else that I want to get down the road. So you're still paying it out of your debit card. You got like a buffer of protection using that credit card versus your debit card. So
Now we're not saying because our system is geared for credit scores and our financial system is geared towards everybody having a credit score.
right.
We're not saying go out here and spend
Definitely
and
not.
just barely pay. No, we're just saying there's always ways around that. If
Yep.
you're going to use a credit card, pay it off.
Yep.
Pay for it. If you're going to say I'm gonna spend up to $500, when I get to $500, I'm not going to use that credit card
Yep.
anymore. I'm gonna pay it off.
Yep.
You have to be have that willpower to know your limits and not go over your limits
Yep.
because down the road you may need that a great credit score to get
Mm-hmm.
certain things or you can be
Yep.
paying high interest rates.
Yep.
So and another thing that I have on this list is go to a credit counselor. They
Right.
can help you get your credit score fixed and get you in the right alignment so your credit score can go
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. And believe it or not, different credit people do different things. Like some things TransUnion do to boost your score, and some things Experian do to boost your score, and some things Equifax do to boost your score. Like for example, one thing that Experian do, they allow you to use your rent payment to boost your score. So you sign up for it's called a service for it allows you to do the Experian Boost. So you use rent payments, right, to sign up for it. And let's say your one score is 650, another score is 650, and Experian may be 700 because you use that tool just for Experian. So different ones use different things in order to elevate your score. So you may see a fluctuation in scores and some things as far as across the board, and you don't want to see one at 650, one at 700, one at 330 you like something's not right, something's not driving. That's when you really want to dive into the report. But typically speaking, that should be between 15 and 20 points apart. 610, 630, 600. You're good there. But when it's too much variation, something's not on one of the reports is not accurate. So um, I do want to mention one thing that's good to use too, Robin, is I have bells in the background. Like, it's funny. Um, it's called authorized user. And what an authorized user is maybe my other phone. I'm pretty sure. My bad.
Hmm. Hmm.
Sorry about that. I'm thinking this maybe my other phone. Um,
Hmm.
so one thing is also is good to use is an authorized user. An authorized user is you say, hey, my credit is 800, right? And I'm like, hey, you know what? And let me talk to Aero Seekers because add me to his credit score. I don't know, you ain't adding to my credit score. But for my kids, I can get them added to my credit card as an authorized user to boost their credit score because now, as authorized user, my credit score is going to be looked at when they see his on this credit card. Okay, this credit card is good. He's an authorized user. He's been paying it on time. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying the bill on
Hmm.
time. So
Hmm.
authorized users mean they can use your card. So, but I wouldn't give them the card. So that's just another mechanism to help somebody with a low score to get a high score to tap into somebody with a high score as an authorized user. But I would keep that very close knit. And you hear a lot about that, authorized users. Very close knit. You still got to protect that because if you authorize somebody on your card, that means you authorize them to use it. I'm saying use
Yep.
it in a way of to build their score, but
Right.
don't let them use the card.
Right.
So
Right. Just put them on there, and then
right,
you use it and
right,
pay for it, but they getting the benefit from it.
right.
And that's good for like college students,
Yep,
people
yep,
getting out of college,
yep,
so
yep.
they can already have um, established credit. So when they go to get their first apartment, because even with apartments, they looking at that.
Yep.
Go get their first apartment or what have you. They will have a good credit rating. So
Yep.
I'm gonna run through the list again right quick. And I will post an article on our Facebook page with the same information that you can look at. I'll
Hey,
post
I
it
forgot.
on
There's one more.
Friday.
There's one more good way to lower your
What?
FICO score is to
What?
download the Bags of Money apps because it helps you tell you when your bills are due well in advance, so you can pay them on time, knowing how much you got in your account.
Okay, so what is this Bags of Money at?
So it's a financial app. It's out on Android right now. It's not in the Apple Store, but it allows you to monitor. It allows you to know how much money you will have on any given day of the year. You put in your frequent spending habits as far as your bills, your income frequency of your bills. I mean your expenses, and then you can it's a calendar view. The calendar view is really nice. You can say today is January 23rd, and you get all your bills and stuff in there, right? You can say, well, I got a bill due on February the 14th. You click on February the 14th. You can say, yes, I got enough money in that account because it's going to update your availability in your checking account based on your spending habits. So that's another good way to avoid late payments and make sure you got your money in your account to pay for those bills. There it is.
And and the availability, the money in your account, would just want to say this is that this app does not connect to your bank account
Exactly. It's for you
because
to do it.
right, it's something to get you engaged in
Mm,
looking at your money because we become a generation of swipers that we
mm-hmm.
don't even know. There's people don't even know how to balance a checkbook.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is help you monitor your money. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not connected to your bank account. What it is that you have to put your information in. Put in when you set it up. It actually when you get paid, how often
Mm-hmm.
you get paid,
Mm-hmm.
when the bill, all your bills, how often these bills are paid, and
Yep.
from that information, it can extrapolate down the road based off what you put in
Yep.
when bills are due, how much
Yep.
money you'll have in the bank,
Yep.
how much, because you're going to take your most recent checking balance, and that's going to be the first thing you put in, your most recent checking balance. And from that, it can track everything. Once you put in your income and all your expenses, it can
Yep.
track
Yeah.
So I
It,
mean,
yeah.
it's a good tool because that was one of the things. Do auto pay, and when you do auto pay, you already know what's coming out, and the
Yeah.
app can tell you it's already coming out.
Yeah. So you put in a
Yeah,
frequency. Once you put in, like, let's say you get paid your bill for your car notice, 550 every month on the third. So once you put it on the third, you put the frequency monthly. Each month, it's going to put in on the app for you automatically. You ain't got to put it in every
right,
month. The 550. You
right.
say monthly, weekly, however you want to put in the frequency. It's going to do it for you automatic. So basically, when you set up the first time, it's going to do it for you moving forward. And you can modify the amount anytime you want to. That's not a big deal. But at least when you put in your income, and it makes it bad. It has two separate registers. That's it, right? Registers. That's it,
Yes,
right? Okay, register.
yes.
So they have an income, we have an income register and a checking register. So they're not combined together. But the checking balance consists of those two things together, incoming and outgoing. So, and there's on
Right, right.
several different screens. You can see the balance any on basically any screen that you click on.
So as your
Home screen too. I mean, it is a
right.
great tool to help you monitor what you have. You pull up and say, oh, this is how much money I got in my account today, based on my spending habits. So you can kind of know what to look forward to and what you're getting yourself into and how to avoid pitfalls.
So when you put your checking balance in, and when you put your income in, it'll add the income to
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So your checking
Mm-hmm.
balance increases,
Yep.
and then down the road, as you have your bills are coming due, it'll subtract it from the checking balance, and then
Yep.
it'll add
Mm-hmm.
back the income as the next check come in, and
Mm-hmm.
the next bill. So it keep adding and subtracting based on
Mm-hmm.
when your bills are due and when you're getting paid.
Yep. And it tell you too. It says, if you have 5 bills on one day, it says you got these 5 bills on the app, and it says the total of those 5 bills is this. It says you got 5 bills totaling $350. $350 minus your balance, it gives you a new balance of this today. So it'll
Right.
project your new balance for you already. So
And say at the end of February, you click on the 26th, February 26th, and you realize, oh, I'm going to be short because I didn't have
mm-hmm.
enough income,
Mm-hmm.
and I got two bills coming out on the
Mm-hmm.
26th, but I'm not going to have enough. You can see that today.
Yep.
If you click on the 26th, you
You'll
can
know.
see you're going to be short. You
Yep.
already know.
Yep.
And you can fix it by however transferring money or
Yep.
getting money in and adding it
Yep.
to your income. So this app is wonderful in helping you manage your finances, stay on top of paying your bills on time,
Yep.
and keeping you aware of what you're doing with your money. Like I
Yep.
said, we're a generation of swipers, and
Yep.
we're not really paying attention to
Mm-hmm.
what we're spending
Yep.
until the card say declined, and
Yep.
then it's too late. It's too
Yep.
late then.
Yep.
So check out that app. It's called Bags of Money app. It's on Android, and it's being worked on to get it in the Apple Store.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do a one quick review of ways to fix your credit. First of all, you need to go check and find out what your credit score is. Pay your bills on time. Pay down your debt. Avoid inquiries into your credit. Dispute any errors you see on your credit report. Make sure you pay your bills on time as far as before 30 days, because it stays on your account, your credit report at if you're after 30 days or more, it stays on there for 7 years, which will hurt you. Keep unused credit accounts open. Don't close the ones that's zero. Get and if you can, get credit counseling. Somebody to help you hold your hand and walk you through this.
Hello, that's us.
So if you I hope you learned something from this, and like I said, this I will post an article on our Facebook page on Friday that spells this out, so you can read it
All right.
and
All right.
bookmark it and start working on
All right.
improving your credit score.
Well, thank you for
Okay.
joining this podcast today. There's other ways you can find this podcast. You actually go to our website. Our website is giftedgenerations-llc.com/podcast. So you want to listen to us while riding in your car, you can go to our website and see other things, but you also can find the podcast there. You can find us on Facebook also on the Gifted Gen. That's GIFTED GEN LLC. Instagram is gift.gen. That's GIF.GEN. And also you can find us on YouTube. That is Gifted Generations LLC. That's Gifted Generations with an S LLC. And then you also can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio under Financeology 101. And then our Twitter handle is at GiftedGen 2019. So
Okay.
that's it.
And all our social media handles will be on our Podbean website. So if you didn't get all of that, I always have it listed at the bottom of the website. So thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful evening.
All right. Take care.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Well, thank you for tuning in to our podcast, Financeology 101. I hope you enjoyed this session and the information provided will assist you on your financial journey. Until next time, be financially engaged.